I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 148. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino. This is my co-host, Dan. I can't get enough of Netflix. Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Oh, very, very busy weekend for me. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was pretty,
yeah?
Listen, I never turn. I always like the 3-day weekends. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, you got off on Monday.
I had off on Monday. So
I understand.
It was pretty good. And speaking of Netflix, I just went Netflix crazy. Okay.
You did.
I'm all caught up. Okay, I caught up with all the Marvel shows. All right.
You did? Okay.
Finished Daredevil. I think I finished Jessica Jones. I finished Iron Fist. And I finished The Punisher season 2.
You know what? I'm going to get into that too. I tried to watch The Punisher, and I couldn't do it this weekend. So I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in just a little bit. What did you think of the season? No spoilers, because I could barely get through one episode, and I'll tell you why in a bit.
Listen, I thought it was awesome, but midway through when Spiderman came, it was even better.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
That would be awesome. Spider-Man came though. That would blow my mind. If they did like a Spider-Man
How funny
Punisher.
would that be, right? It's all in the same universe. Oh, that'd be crazy.
Well, it really is in the same universe.
Well, it's true. It's true. They do reference a little
the
bit.
Thing in New York.
The thing in New York, yeah.
Yeah, they reference that in Daredevil season 1.
Right, and that's really about it. Honestly, I don't think there's.
I think they did it in Jessica Jones season 1 as well.
Maybe. But I mean, it's like it's so hard to. It's kind of hard to do that and not step on their toes, but yet still bring your own narrative and your own characters and like have your own team up movie and all that, right? Like it's just tough, right? Because there's like a world crisis going on.
But the Netflix shows are more, on the small scale, somewhat, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like,
they're
not worried about the world. They just worry about either their neighborhood, like, Daredevil just cares about Hell's Kitchen, even though season 3, the Defenders is about, destroying all of New York as a whole. Like, it's like, really? Like, destroying New York? That was a little dramatic, but okay, I get it. They want a little, spiritual, a little crazy, because these Netflix shows are sort of more based in reality, right? It's
they were. Now they're all canceled. But yeah, no.
Well, Jessica Jones is not canceled yet. We still got hope.
It will
she's gonna be canceled. She's gonna be.
It will be. Yeah.
She has to do her 2-year hiatus before they all come back on the Disney
Channel, that's right, or the Disney streaming network. Yeah.
The Punisher I thought was awesome. So they're like based in reality, right? Like, well, sort of. Again,
yeah. I mean, as much as a superhero television show, or
they're
movie
dark.
can be.
They're a little bit darker, a little bit,
Gritty,
they're like,
yeah.
they're like, the Batman Nolan, Batman Nolan,
Christopher Nolan universe. Yeah.
Christopher Nolan universe. There we go.
The Christian Bale, I'm Batman universe.
Yeah, it's no Ben Affleck.
It's no Ant-Man. No, it's no Ben Affleck.
No, I like Ben Affleck as Batman. Okay, this Batman. I don't want them to change it. Let's just try to keep the continuity and make it better.
Continuity. That's not a word DC knows about.
I know they got 2 Jokers.
Yeah. Continuity, movie making, storytelling, pacing. DC knows none of these things.
All right, so I watched that. All right, so I finished watching The Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was excellent. They threw me for a swerve because I was really looking for the big showdown. As a matter of fact, I like how all the Marvel shows start you off with one villain, and then that villain really isn't the main villain anymore. The main villain sort of materializes
halfway through. They give you the twist.
Halfway through the season.
Yep, they give you
the
twist. They M Night Shyamalan on you. And you go, ooh, here's a new villain.
So there's no different. I thought it was pretty good. Again, 13 episodes. I think they could have did it in 10.
A little
dragged out,
a little bit of fat on the bone.
Dragged out just a little bit. But I get it. But I gotta say, I really enjoyed watching the Solo movie, Star Wars Solo.
The Han Solo movie in the Star Wars universe.
I went in with very low expectations. Okay,
it's got Donald Glover though. Movie. It's got Donald Glover. Come on now. He's got to give you some cool points there.
He was okay.
He was okay.
He was okay. I liked him.
Wow. Giving him an on the low end.
No,
on the Dave scale.
No, he was an on a good end. He was
okay. All right. Fair enough.
It was okay. No, he was good.
Not fantastic. Wow.
No,
okay. Figured to be the highlight of that movie.
Everyone said first of all, everyone said the movie was trash. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can understand. It was sort of, it had the Aquaman syndrome where it was like a serious storyline, and they didn't know if they wanted to be funny, right? It had a lot of
I see.
Serious storyline. It had an identity crisis. Is it a funny movie? Is it like, a super serious movie? It was pulling. Is it the prequels or is it the original Star Wars? They were pulling. It was like a tug of war. But I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. I liked Solo, a Star Wars movie, better than Aquaman.
Oh, better than Aquaman. Okay, I thought you were gonna say like better than like episode 6 or something. And I was like, Jesus.
Oh God, no!
Get out of here!
God, no! It was better. Put it this way: it was better than episode 1 and 2.
I mean, everything is better than episode 1 and 2.
It was better than episode 1 and 2. It was weird. It was just weird to see Han Solo have a love interest that's not Leia.
Not Princess Leia. Yeah, right. Well, you gotta think. By the time they got to episode 4, Han Solo's been around the galaxy. He's definitely no spring chicken. And yet he's a ladies' man. He's a playboy. He's got to be dating random women around the galaxy.
I just think it's funny how they gave him his name, Solo.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, listen, this isn't like it came up like in the middle of the movie or at the end of the movie. It was in the first 5 minutes of the movie of how he got his name Solo. So we have no idea we really don't know where Hans is from. Like we don't know how he got to that planet, if he was stuck there, if he was born there.
Right.
He was trying to escape this planet. And he just wants to be a pilot, and the guy's like, he's like running from authority. He's running from the clones, the clone soldiers, and it's like, hey, my name is Hans, and he's like, you have a last name? And he's just like, no. He's like, are you here with anybody? He's like, no, I'm Solo. And it's just like, all right, you're Hans Solo.
You figured there'd be a little bit more of an origin story from a movie about Han Solo specifically, right? Figure like, oh, he's born on a planet or whatever, born to some traders or raiders or something, But no, I guess they kind of left that a mystery, huh?
They left that a mystery. They did leave open, and they left they left the door open for more movies, which I'm sure they're probably not going to make.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard, because like we know so much about Han Solo, I guess we didn't know the origin. We got a little bit more of the origin, but
Well, I mean, we got everything all in this one movie. How he met Chewbacca, how he got his last name, how he met Chewbacca, how he got his ship,
sure,
the Millennium Falcon. I just wish they sort of would have left some of that out, right? Like maybe he met Chewbacca in Solo 2.
Oh, right, yeah.
You meet him in Solo 1.
I mean, we know he's got adventures in Tales, right? He talks about the Kessel Run in episode 4. He's known Chewie for forever how long. He knows Lando, is Lando, is like he knows who he is, right? So like he's definitely been on adventures, and those are just the ones they talked about in episode 4, or the characters that he's known in episode 4, right? And I guess they kind of like fleshed all that out already. So, I don't know.
But I liked it. Listen,
Yeah.
I would say see the movie. Okay, definitely underrated.
Oh, well,
Now-
I'll tell you this. I wanted to see the movie, but so how like Netflix has the like download for later option,
Yeah.
right? You couldn't do that with Solo, right?
Really?
I think it may only be for their original content
Wow.
or
Okay.
for particular bits of content. Yeah, you couldn't. I couldn't download Solo and watch it at a later time. It was very
Interesting.
weird. It was very weird. So I was upset by that. So I downloaded all of Punisher, right? Because I thought like, well, I can watch that on the plane trip, right? I went down to like DC for the weekend. A friend was having a baby shower and all that. I said, yeah, I'll come down for the weekend. I haven't seen you in a while. His wife is about to have the baby and all that. So, it was really good to see my friend Jay and his wife Melanie. So I was like, yeah, I'll come down. And I needed something to watch on the plane, right? So I was like, well, I will try and get the Solo movie. And I'm like, nope. So, all right, fine. The Punisher just came out. I will download all of the Punisher, right? And I tried to watch the Punisher. The volume was way too low, right? My headphones and my phone speaker only go so high. So I cranked it up all the way. I'm like, I can't hear this. Like I got through like half the episode. I'm like, I can't. I have to watch it later. So wasn't for a lack of trying. I did try and watch the Punisher, but I couldn't do it.
Did you get a chance to watch anything else instead?
Yeah, actually, so I left on Saturday, came back Sunday, very short trip. Friday night, I ended up watching Birdbox, right? Because everyone's talking about Birdbox. Got to see this Birdbox movie, right? It's based off a book, right? They turned it into a movie. They got
Sandra Bullock.
They got Sandra Bullock to be the lead in this, right? And Sandra Bullock is
She's now become a meme.
of course. Well, yeah, and she's been in some good stuff. She's a fairly accomplished actress. She was in
Fairly accomplished. This is Sandra Bullock. Are you kidding me?
Go ahead.
Fairly accomplished.
Go ahead.
Demolition Man.
Yeah, Demolition Man. Demolition Man is a great popcorn flick. It is not a good movie
She's an Oscar
on its own right.
She's an Oscar-winning actress. She's
Get out of here. The
fairly
Blind
accomplished.
Side. The Blind Side is Hollywood schlock. All right?
The Blind
I'm calling
Side was
it like I see
amazing.
it.
The Blind Side was amazing. Get out of here.
No.
Listen,
You were
officially
blindsided.
taken off the
You were
list.
blindsided by that movie. It is
That
not
movie
that
was
good.
great. Are you kidding me?
All right,
It was a heartfelt movie that was based on a true story.
I know it was based on Michael Orr. I know.
That was a great movie. Get out of here.
Right? It's a true story. It's fine. It's a
She did
fine movie, I guess.
You did a great job in that movie. I
Wasn't
thought that was
anything great.
fantastic.
Well, anyway, beyond all that, everyone's talking about Birdbox this, Birdbox that. Do the Birdbox challenge, right? Everyone's
No,
like,
I
it's...
don't recommend anybody doing a
No. To not spoil anything, because the movie is still fairly kind of fresh. It's only a couple weeks old, right? Netflix paid a lot of money for this. They got Sandra Bullock in this. They got like a couple of big name actors in this, right? They got John Malkovich, right? Guy from Being John Malkovich. He's in this movie. I think just about everybody else is kind of a unknown, more or less, right? Not a whole lot of cast of characters in there because it's
Machine
kind
Gun
of
Kelly was in it.
what's that?
Machine Gun Kelly was in it.
Machine Gun Kelly was it? Who was he in this movie?
He's a rapper.
I know he's a rapper. Who was he in the movie?
Remember the white guy? Remember the tall, skinny white guy in the house? Well, now you got to maybe talk about the movie. The guy was in the house. And
Right.
he had sex in a laundromat, and then they bounced on everybody at some point in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Oh wow. So yeah.
I'm still sour about your Sandra Bullock, man. I'm sorry. Speed.
Now wait
Gravity.
a minute. So the Speed
weeks
one
notice?
Speed one was good.
2 weeks notice. 28 days.
28 days was 28. I enjoyed 28
Practical
days.
magic. All
Practical
about Speed.
magic when she was a witch. Get out of
Speed
here.
2.
Oh, get the Speed
A time-
2.
A time to kill.
You're just
A Time to Kill?
naming her IMDb credits right now. Get out of here. Get out of here. No.
Miss Congeniality.
So wait a
one
minute.
and two.
Wait a minute. So you saw Bird Box, right?
I did.
Did you enjoy it?
It was okay.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's fine. They didn't really explain the monster at all, where it came from.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point. The monster's a mystery.
Well, but what's its whole MO for like going after everybody, right? There's this large epidemic. There's this monster which we don't know about, right? And it's going after all these people and doing weird things to different people. You're doing, mind you, different things to different people, right?
Oh, did we know why the trees were killing people in The Happening?
Well, that also wasn't a good movie. There you go. Case in point, you know? You have to explain enough to be like, okay, I understand what's going on.
It's the mystery.
There could be some mystery. There was way too much mystery.
Well, we gotta look at what the monsters potentially could have been, and when the crazy guy had all the pictures, right? Like, had all the the sketches and drawings.
Sure.
Because I mean, obviously he wasn't affected really by the monsters. He was crazy.
Well, he was
already crazy.
Well, was he though? Or
he was already. Well, I mean, the movie did a good enough job explaining if you're crazy, you're the monster's best friend. You're the disciples.
I don't know. It was all.
If you weren't crazy, you killed yourself. That's the whole
point. The movie was all over the place. It was very inconsistent. Like they kind of half explained some of that stuff, but it was okay. It was okay. You know. Yeah, I wasn't that impressed by it.
So you didn't like. Wait. So let's get to let's break this down. You didn't like the movie because it didn't explain where the monsters came from or the motivation.
I mean that's not the only thing. I mean everything was very inconsistent, right? What was the whole point and the theme of the movie, right? Is it like sometimes you have to make tough choices? Is it her learning to be like a mother and whatnot?
It's her learning to open up and be social with other people. Remember, she's a painter and she always painted black. She had a lot of black. And remember in the beginning of the movie when her sister was like, this painting looks great, but you have all these people in here and they all look lonely, which was a metaphor for her life. She was lonely, right?
Yeah.
How she was pregnant. Her ex-boyfriend left her and she was isolated from the world and she didn't feel connected to the baby. That's why when she had the kids, she named them boy and girl because she really had no connection to them.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was all just
fantastic. I thought it was good. It was a good movie.
Wait, no. You said it was okay, and now you're saying it's fantastic.
Well, it was fantastically good.
It was fantastically good. So it was perfect. It was a perfectly fine movie. I wasn't impressed. I mean, it reminded me a lot of A Quiet Place, right?
I still haven't seen that movie. I want to see that movie.
Well, sure. I mean, like the whole conceit of Quiet Place is that you can't make a noise because the monsters can't see,
sound.
But they can hear. In this movie, the monsters can see, but they can't really hear in that way. So they kind of like flip it around, some sort of sensory deprivation and whatnot, right? Like we're gonna take away one of your five senses, and that's the whole conceit and the carry through of the movie, right? Yeah, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
We're not gonna talk about the Bird Box tonight. We definitely not gonna talk about.
I could go. I'm just saying.
A movie that you may like. A movie you may like. We finally got our first trailer, and that was Spiderman: Far From Home.
Yeah.
And literally, he was far from home because he was in a school trip.
He went to Paris. If there's one place you're gonna go, France is it.
So far, the bad guys. We got Hydro Man, right? Looks like we got Hydro Man. We got Sandman, and then
Sandman again. Yeah,
Sandman again. But then we got Jake Gyllenhaal as a Mysterio, but he looks like he's fighting Sandman. So right. Is he?
Well, I thought Mysterio was one of the Sinister Six, correct?
Well, I mean, in the cartoon, yeah.
Well, sure. It also plays into the comics, right?
Yeah, but okay. I don't. Yeah, no. I think he did play in the comics too. I have that comic somewhere.
It looks like.
I have that comic somewhere,
okay.
And I have the first run of the Spider-Man when he had his own trading cards. Mm-hmm. I had that first one, I still have that
Right.
first one somewhere. I think he
Right.
was part of. I know he's part of Sinister Six in the cartoon.
Yeah, because I don't know like a hell of a ton, and like I know they made a couple of video
But he
games.
wasn't a good guy, so why is he fighting? He
I-
looks like a good guy. He's like fighting
I-
Spiderman. I have more
I
questions
don't know.
than
I
answers.
don't know. Maybe they're kind of twisting things around a little bit. Maybe it's a partial team up, kind of like Loki and Thor. You know, could be one of
Is
those
this-
situations.
But this comes out after Avengers, right?
Yeah, it does. So,
Okay, so
surprise, Spider-Man lives. How they're gonna like explain that or not explain that or whatever is gonna be very interesting.
okay, all
'Cause,
right.
I mean, he's like dust. He's dust right now.
He's gone.
You
I
know, at the
watched
current, at the
Avengers.
current point in time. He's
I
done.
also watched Avengers over again over the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Avengers 4
Infinity War.
or
Yeah.
Infinity War 3, I guess.
Yeah,
Avengers
yeah.
3, yeah.
I watched it again over the weekend. It's the first time I seen it in the movies and I didn't see it again. So this is my second time watching it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. They really did a good job with all the characters involved. They had so many characters, and they didn't try to shoehorn them in any way. So
Yeah.
I thought it was a good movie. Really
Yeah,
long.
They,
It was definitely long.
how do you juggle all of those characters and give
Well,
them
the
those
question is, how are they
stories?
going to juggle all those characters in Endgame? It's like, all right, they're not going to come back until the end.
Well, yeah,
Gonna
yeah.
kill
I mean,
Thanos.
They're also adding in now Ant-Man and Hawkeye and
Well, they took
probably
out
some others.
Black Panther. They took
They
out
took
Vision.
out half the world. Yeah. So
Yeah.
half the Avengers are gone. Yeah. Yeah.
Something that I'm excited for
Mm-hmm.
was, did you see that Ghostbusters sequel teaser?
Oh, I did. This
It's to be released in
is-
2020. Something that I didn't put in the notes, and we didn't talk about it prior to the show,
Mhm.
was there was a picture of old Bill Murray in an outfit floating around out there in the universe, in Twitter sphere.
Yeah. I mean, he has to be back in this movie. If he's not back in this movie, it's going to be trash. Like Bill Murray is the man. He's awesome.
So everyone reprises their roles,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well,
all we
except
saw. Well, yes,
Yeah,
Well,
except for
Egon.
Evan Reitman. Sadly.
Except for Egon. All we saw was that
R.I.P.
little one, sort of like in an old garage.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I thought that was
Just a-
awesome. I want this to be. This is a sequel to the Ghostbusters 2. This is way overdue. This is a long time coming.
Far future sequel. Well, I mean, I'll tell you this: Dan Aykroyd was trying to get this movie off the ground for a while. So there's been many scripts floating around. Just couldn't make it
Ghostbusters.
happen.
Ghostbusters is a video game
Mm-hmm.
which everyone had a hand in.
Yep.
Plays closely tied into the last script that he really wanted to do, where they went to hell.
Yep.
All right. So actually, I gotta go back and beat that game. I made it halfway through. I have it for PS3. I made it halfway through, and I started playing something else.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta.
Yeah. It's very interesting because I know there was a lot of internet controversy over Ghostbusters 2016, right? Where they kind of did like a soft reboot with like an all-female squad, which had Bill Murray as a cameo,
Well, I had all of them as a cameo, but not as themselves.
Right.
They
were there
did
in
not take
different-
place
yeah.
in the same universe as Ghostbusters.
right?
1
Which
and
is
2.
which is weird because I thought that would have been great, right? Like Ghostbusters is the service, and you can just get new employees in and out, right?
You would
would have
think. You would think so, right? You would
Yeah.
think so.
It would have been like really cool to see like Dan Aykroyd be like, he's like running the company and he's like, well, I can't really go out anymore. Let's go ahead and hire some new people in, right? We're getting too old for this, right? Get some new people in, and that kind of ties it in and gives it credence, and
that movie was never that movie/universe, because there were
Mm-hmm.
multiple movies on the sort of on the horizon that they wanted to make in that universe. Was
Right.
never going to work because it didn't tie into the original Ghostbusters, and it was a sort of a slap in the face. People felt to have the original Ghostbusters in the movie, but not as themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it was never going to work. It was a funny movie, but it was just never going to work in the Ghostbusters lore. People were always going to rebel against it.
I think they were. You're right. Because fans love Ghostbusters.
Knowing the history that Ghostbusters 3 would never got made.
Well, okay,
if they would have made,
so I'll say this.
If they made Ghostbusters 3,
Mhm.
right? Not the game, because the game, Dan Aykroyd usually refers to the game as
Ghostbusters
Part
3. Yeah.
If they would have made Ghostbusters 3 and just wrapped it up,
Mm-hmm.
I think the reboot would have been a little bit. It would have been better received, though, somewhat. But because we know that Ghostbusters 3 start, stop, something that we've been dying for, right? The end of the trilogy.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
And then a slap in the face when you put people in it that, and it's not that universe. They're just a cab driver or the guy at the deli.
It wasn't handled the best. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, the thing that I'll say is Part 2, not a great movie.
I thought it was fantastic. I really liked it as a kid.
Part 2, not a great movie. Critics all agreed wasn't that great of a movie.
You know what? Critics can go kiss.
Well, fan reviews too. It's trending worse than the original. The original is a comedy classic.
I saw the second one before I saw the first one when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And I love the second one.
Sure, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. Don't get me wrong, but it is not a good movie. So then everyone starts going crazy over the new Ghostbusters being horrible and whatnot. I mean, there's a lot that people were coming at it with, and I think it was unfair. The original movie is still the original movie, right? You can make a million different reboots. The original Ghostbusters is still the original Ghostbusters. You can always go back and watch it anytime you want in beautiful 4K now, mind you. Let
me ask you a question. You like Star Wars?
A couple of times.
Let me ask you a question. You like Star Wars, right?
I love Star Wars.
What if you love the original Star Wars, not the prequels, right?
I thought Episode 3 was great. Episode 2 was trash. I like Episode 1 more than Episode 2. And Episode 3 is okay.
1 was trash, 2 was less trash, and 3 was good.
Mm-hmm.
But you like, it's safe to say you like the original Star Wars more than you like the prequels.
Sure.
So what if they came out with a reboot of Star Wars and had Darth Vader as your cab driver or your space driver? And
it wouldn't matter to me. It wouldn't matter to me.
And they had Han Solo as just a robot character.
Oh, it would be stupid, and I'd make fun of it, and I probably wouldn't see it. Like, if it was that bad, if it was just like a travesty beyond the pale,
well, the point is,
I wouldn't see it, and that'd be fine.
People clamored for a movie in that universe. They didn't want a full out reboot. Okay, if you want to introduce new characters in the same timeline and bring people back as themselves, that's one thing. Then bring everybody back as something different, and it's not in the same universe. When people have been clamoring something in that same universe,
sure.
It was always going to be backlash. It was always going to be backlash.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be any. Because there was definitely a lot of things wrong with that movie. And it wasn't handled the best.
Listen, you pay with your wallet. I didn't go see the movie. Yeah. I saw it when it came on TV, and I was like, it wasn't that good.
And that's 100% fair, 100%.
So, but with that said, I'm excited to see the new movie that's coming out in 2020. Hopefully, release date.
I'm very cautious.
They're shooting it now, so I'm excited to see it. Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail, what have you been playing right now?
Oh, I almost forgot about this segment. My favorite segment of the show, Dan. What I have been playing, and this kind of ties into my trip, is I brought my Switch down with me, right? And I went to fun story. I went to GameStop to pick up another dock because my original dock is still at my parents' house from Christmas. I haven't been back to pick it up yet. So I had to get a new dock, and I bought a couple extra Joy-Cons, right? The dock was okay. It didn't have the little back flap on it. That broke off. I didn't realize that until I set it up. I said, where's the back flap on there? And I was like, all right, fine. And the charger is not the original charger. It's like a Nyko or something. It's like a third-party brand power plug.
You better watch out with those third
Yeah. Well, yeah, seriously. So I have to go and bring that back. Also, the Joy-Cons that I got didn't have the little toppers on there, right? The little like things so you can use them like solo.
Did you buy used Joy-Cons?
Yeah.
Why did you buy brand new? Why did you buy brand new ones?
Because I didn't want to. I not that I wasn't necessarily going to keep all of this stuff, but I was like, well, I could just buy it used and save like $10-15. What's the difference?
10 to 15 bucks getting it brand new with everything you want.
Well, I mean, it should come with everything. I'll buy a used Joy-Con. It's going to be likely to heavily used, and it should have all the pieces with it. So I'm pissed. Not to mention the center of the D-pad. It kept going to the left. I'd leave it neutral, and I was playing Mario Kart, and it would go to the left. So the Joy-Cons were broken.
Moral of the story. Don't be cheap. It's $10. Spend the $10. Get the brand new one.
No, it should work. GameStop should sell proper.
It's used. It's always going to be.
Well, I'm taking it back to GameStop. That's it's going to be their loss. There's going to be $150 of returns in pre-owned gear coming back to that damn store. And they're going to have to take it back.
Are you that cheap? $150 when you spent $150 when you could have spent $170. You got a brand new, all working.
It would have been like $180, $190, because the Switch dock was $70. That's $30 off the retail price. There's no reason for me to get a brand new dock.
Wait, how much is the Switch dock?
$100, and they had it on sale. They had it on sale for $70. I'm pretty sure it was $100. Okay. Well, whatever. Regardless, the point of the story is I got a bunch of bum gear and I have to take it all back now. So I'm a little salty about that. But I say all that because I brought all that gear to bring it down to DC so we could all play games together. And we were rocking the Mario Kart 8 on the Switch and the Super Smash Bros.
Switch stock is $89.99. You could have got it for $80 on Amazon. Just saying.
Well, I had to leave on Saturday. I can't get it from Amazon. It's not gonna come in time.
Get that prime same day shipping, baby.
Yeah, that wouldn't have made it. I was going to the air. I was on the way to the airport.
Tell them to deliver it at the airport.
I was on the way to the airport, Dad.
Tell them to deliver it at the airport.
This is not gonna fly. I'm not going to be able to have it drone shipped to my friend's place down in DC.
Why?
It's not how that works.
Space to drop it off.
Not how that works. So
they had plenty of space to drop it off.
Anyway, we had a damn good time playing some Switch classics. I haven't played Mario Kart in a while, so that was fun. And Smash Brothers is always a good time. So we got some of that in. And then obviously I'm still going through and playing Red Dead on the Xbox One.
How many hours do you think you played in that? How many hours?
I have definitely got my 60 hours worth out of that game already, and I'm still not even done with the story.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to race to the end now. I'm trying to race to the end. I'm like 80% done with the story. I'm in like chapter 6. Everything's just like coming to a head. So yeah. So Dan, that's what I've been playing. What have you been playing? That's right. What I want to know.
Okay, so I finally went back to Titanfall 2.
Finally went back to Titanfall 2. That game's like 3 years old now. You know that, right?
Well, it's
3 years old.
It's two years.
This is your Arkham Asylum. This is your Arkham Asylum.
2 years. Well, first it's 2 years in like 2 months.
Oh, at least
2 years. It was 2017 in like November. 2017 November.
No, it was 2016, I think.
No, it was 2017.
Was it? Maybe. You may be right.
I think it came out in.
All right.
That doesn't matter. Right. Sorry, so I beat it. Mm-hmm. I finally beat it. Titanfall 2. It's shorter than I thought it would. I thought I had like another, maybe 3 hours left, 2-3 hours, and I think I beat it all collectively in maybe like 8 hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a good story though, right?
No, it's a good story. Mm-hmm. Left room for Titanfall 3.
Which probably will never come out, but yeah.
No, I'm sure. Well, right now they're working on that Jedi game. right? Respawn.
Yeah, well, I mean, Titanfall 2 didn't do well by the sales numbers.
It was critically acclaimed.
It's a great game, but the sales numbers didn't back that up, That's the thing, like EA doesn't care about the score. EA cares about the dollars,
I know. It was critically acclaimed, and I think, I think they've won a record and said Titanfall 3 will happen. It's not dead. But
I mean, I sure hope so. I sure hope so. October 28th, 2016 was Titanfall 2.
Yeah, like I said, October 2016.
You said 2017, but that's okay.
I think you said that, but it's okay.
This is another Breath of the Wild situation.
Well,
Dan messed up yet again.
That was definitely all.
You never want to go back to the tape, Dan. Never want to go back to the tape. Episode 45, folks. I believe it's episode 45.
That was
Breath of the Wild.
That was definitely you.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. It's fine. You can be wrong. I will let you be wrong. It's fine.
It was all you. That was all you.
All right. So you beat
Titanfall.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing on Xbox One, and I beat new Mario Brothers U Deluxe, and I beat new Super Luigi U Deluxe.
Damn, you had a productive week. Let me tell you.
Yeah, so I ran through all of those, beat that. I actually 100%ed. And when let me not say that. I didn't 100%, but I cleared all the levels on the new Super Mario Brothers. Luigi, because like there's a way where like you hit a crossroads where you can go up or down, right? And if you go down, you're gonna go through a whole bunch of other levels to get to the castle. If you go up, and it's the same thing. So you would have to go back and not go to the castle, go back to play the other levels if you want to like sort of clear the whole map. So new Super Luigi U, I didn't clear the whole map. I just went to beat the game. But new Super Mario Brothers U, I definitely I cleared the whole map. So I did that.
Oh, nice.
I had the Switch with me, so played some Stardew Valley. I went back and bought Stardew Valley on the Switch. I have it for PlayStation. But
it's just good to play it on the go, man.
Game you play on the go because it's one of those, there's really it's just music. It's no voice acting or anything. You're reading text. So it's something I can listen to podcasts and, start my own farm.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, right. It's like super chill, super like relax,
I've been playing. I got to play. I have to give it a go just to see how I like it. And I started Let's Go Pikachu on the Switch.
You started Let's Go? Okay. Hey, look, a game's a game.
I got the Pokeball because I got the package with the Pokeball.
Of course.
I played a good hour ish. I caught Pikachu.
You caught Pikachu.
I can hear him in my Pokeball. Right. I will be going back to that game at some point this week.
Okay. So you're digging it.
I didn't say that. I just said I tried it for like an hour.
But you're gonna go back to it.
I'm gonna go back to it because I got caught up because Travis Strikes Again came out for the Switch. Friday.
I
mean, this ties into my pickups. I picked that up.
Good old Travis Touchdown trilogy.
I've been playing a little bit of that. It's really repetitive. I played it while I was intoxicated, so it was tripping me out with all the colors and stuff.
Right.
It's really boring. I gotta be honest. It's boring. It's different. It's boring. It's just boring. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Now, have you played No More Heroes 1 and 2?
I have them. I have not played them. They are in my backlog.
Okay. I think you should probably give those a spin too.
Well, it's totally different than those games from what I hear.
Well, no, I know, but I mean, it kind of gives you some backstory into Travis, and it may endear you more to the character. And
the way you boost because you like essentially have a lightsaber, right? And the way you boost your lightsaber is going to break some switches. I'm sorry, it's going to break some Joy-Cons.
Oh,
because you have to hold down the left button. You have to hold down the left stick. And just waggle the right stick left and right really fast.
Okay.
So that's it takes me back to Mario 64. Nintendo 64
Mm-hmm.
with the stick, and they had to replace. Remember, Nintendo had to replace the stick when you were doing Mario Party games.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Because there was all those like multiplayer ones. You like back and forth, the rotations and all that.
Yeah,
Sure.
that reminded me of that, and I'm like, oh, why is this not leveling up? Why am I not boosting up my lightsaber? And like, you got to do it at the same time. You got to push down the left stick and waggle the right stick at the same time, like literally. I was just like, this game's boring. I gotta be honest.
All right. It's a hot take from Dan Robinson right there.
So this takes me into my pickups because I did pick up Travis Strikes Again for the Switch. I picked up Rolling Thunder 2 for the Genesis because I have Rolling Thunder 1 for the NES and 2 and 3 for the Genesis. I picked up JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for the Dreamcast.
Nice. It's classic. Yeah. Is that the arcade fighting one? Is that the one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that also came out on PlayStation too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. The one that everyone likes is the Dreamcast version.
Right.
But I jumped back into the Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker Remastered for the Wii U because I finally picked up a white Wii U console.
Hey, those are really hard to come by.
Well, I got it from Lukey Games. I just pull it.
Shout out to Wiki Games yet again. We love
bought it from Lukey Games. Great condition. Works perfect. Did not come with the little stands, two little stands that you get on that you put under the Wii so it can stand up vertically.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Not like a big deal breaker, you know.
It's used. So when you get something used, of course it's not going to come with every little thing that it came with when it was brand new.
Listen. The Joy-Con comes in 2 pieces. You expect your Joy-Con controller, which I was buying extra for other people to play with, to have the topper on there.
No.
It's non-negotiable. I'm taking it back because they didn't have it with it.
When you buy something used.
All right.
That's what happens. Okay,
that's the risk you take. I see.
Risk you take.
I see.
But I've been really enjoying the Legends of Wind Waker.
The Legends of Wind Waker. There you go.
I said
Dan Robinson making up Zelda games now.
Go back to the tape. I said the Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker.
No, I think you added some words in there.
I did not.
That's okay. That's okay.
I think I eliminated and just said Wind Waker.
You said Legend of Wind Waker.
I did.
I heard that. That's what I heard.
That's what you heard. You know what? You're hearing things.
Well, you know what, Dan Robinson? I am an old man. Dave Rotino is an old man, as you always like to say on the show.
You know what?
I am ancient. I am wise beyond my years.
You're Birdbox Rotino.
Birdbox Rotino. Hey, that's right.
Anyway, I definitely started a new save because I started it on my black Wii U. Okay. And I wanted to test out the white Wii U. I just sort of transferred the save over, and I've been playing it ever since. Then I restarted it because I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I restarted and actually was hooked. I was like, wow, this is really awesome. And I just bought a bunch of games, which I will talk about next week, hopefully, if I get it before we do the show. I did pick up a white Wii U Pro controller.
Oh, hey, there you go. Now the set is complete.
Hopefully, I'll have that next week.
Awesome. So my pickups are light compared to yours, compared to your massive haul on the white Wii U console. But I did pick up Sonic Mania Plus because
the physical edition, the physical version.
Yeah. So me and you both got the special edition for the Switch.
That was digital.
Which was digital only.
Oh, we did get the big Sonic going to Genesis statue, which I'm bridging consoles. I'm bridging. Listen, I ended the console war. I put Cappy, because I had a Cappy when I brought Mario Odyssey, on top of Sonic.
You're doing the good work, Dan. You're doing the good work.
I did.
Yeah. So so just really just got Sonic Mania Plus this week. Which I'm perfectly happy about. It's great. I've been.
Did you beat that game?
Yeah, of course I beat it. But Sonic Mania Plus has a bunch more stuff, so now I get to go and play it again, with all the new characters, with the Armadillo, Ray the Armadillo, and the other guy, right? Is it Ray the Armadillo?
I don't even know what other
Yeah.
characters.
There's two new characters in there. One of them's an Armadillo. I know that. So
I played it when I played it when it came out.
Mhm.
I think, what did it come out in the summertime for Sonic Plus?
I think so. Yeah, it came out around like April, May, maybe last year.
It just doesn't feel right playing with anybody other than Sonic or Knuckles. I gotta be honest.
Well, I mean, there's Tails too. Come on, can't forget Tails. No,
I could play
Not
with.
a
I
Tails
mean,
fan.
nah, not a Tails fan. I
Alright.
couldn't play with any other characters other than Knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
For obvious reasons, because you can climb the walls,
Right.
or Sonic just because he goes fast. He's Sonic.
Mhm.
But I couldn't play that game. I tried to play with the Armadillo and Tails and the other characters. It just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel right to me.
Right.
So, all right, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we'll get into the top 10 gaming news of last week. And we're back. All right, let's get into the top 10 gaming news of last week. We got to start with this because this was like a huge thing, a huge event. And if you know anything about me, okay, I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, I couldn't get on the art, like before it came to consoles, everybody wanted to go play NBA Jam, Mortal Kombat, and Street Fighter in arcade.
Mm-hmm.
And after school, in junior high school, everybody was on the Street Fighter arcade cabinet.
Oh yeah, right. Did
All
you
right,
have the guy like who had all the secret moves like printed out, and you'd pay a quarter and take a look at the sheet?
Well, I know there was a guy who was just really good and busting everybody up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was in junior high school, so all the big kids, all the high school kids, they were like, no, I got next.
Mhm.
Us junior high school kids, we had to wait till all the high school kids were done.
Oh, see, that's not proper arcade etiquette. You got to put the quarter up on the machine that says you're next. All right, it doesn't matter if you're a junior high or a high school guy.
Well, that's how it was. But
All right.
But unbeknownst to a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
there's a pizza shop that was maybe like I want to say like 5 blocks away that no one really liked. Had a basement where they had Mortal Kombat 2.
One of the best in the series, if not the best in the series.
Actually, no, I'm lying. They had Mortal Kombat 1. They had Mortal Kombat 2 later on. They had Mortal Kombat 1. And that's where I honed my Mortal Kombat skills.
Deep in the dungeon.
So
Nice.
I love Street Fighter. I
Mhm.
love Street Fighter. I played the heck out of it when it came to Super Nintendo. But I got to say, Mortal Kombat holds a special place in my heart. Or at least it was in my heart first.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
So we get Mortal Kombat 11. They had the big event. I think
Mhm.
the pre-show was longer than the actual event. But we got to actually see some gameplay. All right. Coming out, Mortal Kombat 11 is coming out April 23rd. We got to actually see some gameplay, which I loved. You can custom all the characters are more customizable than ever before. They even have some player customizations in there, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen stuff like this in Tekken, in Soul Calibur, little bit in Street Fighter. It's good to see it's coming to Mortal Kombat now, like even bigger and better than before.
Well, they had customization in Mortal Kombat
X or 10, I guess.
X or 10, but
Yeah.
now more so than ever before. They have more options.
Mm-hmm.
So just by what they showed, there were 25 slots for 25 playable characters.
Yep.
So we know there are gonna be 25 playable characters with Shao Kahn as a pre-order bonus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I gotta pre-order this game now, right?
Well, of course, you gotta go the extra characters.
Well, what I always do is listen. I'll pre-order the game. I'll get the extra characters, and then later on, when the definitive edition comes out, like Mortal Kombat XL, I'll get that. I'll pick that up later. When it's like nice and cheap, like $15.
I gotta say, as long as Mortal Kombat has been out, and the amount of characters that they have from all of the games, 25 seems a little light. Because I think that's
Well,
about.
this is not Mortal Kombat Ultimate. Like
Oh, I
Smash
know it's
Bros.
not supposed to be
Ultimate.
everybody,
It's not
but
going to be everybody.
I'm not expecting everybody. I'm not expecting, I'm not expecting Blaze to be in there and Mocap and all the kind of
Why
weird
not?
characters.
We had that Mortal Kombat Ultimate game, right? Where
I
every
know.
character
I'm just saying. Like 25 is good, but like I'm pretty sure like Street Fighter 5 came out the gate. Well, actually, no. Street Fighter 5 only had maybe had about the same, maybe. So I don't know. It just it feels a little light to me, given all of the characters they've created previously that they could bring back.
Come on, you gotta leave a theme for Mortal Kombat 12.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
For the new generation in 2023, Mortal Kombat 12,
Mhm.
every character ever.
Yeah, right.
Even Jason,
Oh my God. Yeah, right. Jason and the Predator and all that. And Freddy.
Predator. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we saw Sub-Zero, well, all the confirmed ones as of right now: Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Raiden, Sonya Blaze, Baraka,
Classics.
Scarlet was a new one. I think she was
Newish. Yeah.
newish. She was in 9. She wasn't in 10.
Yeah.
Kornaka and Garrus. Garrus is a new fighting character. Who sort of
Kronika is a new character too, I think, or Kronika.
Kornika. Well,
Yeah.
I know Garrus is definitely new because it's a part of the story. He's like
Right.
he's a big part of the storyline, and he has like time control abilities.
Mm-hmm.
That's like his big thing. They actually showed some of the prelogue. You get to see the story, like where the other Mortal Kombat ended and this begins.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to get into the story just because I never really pay attention to the story.
And we also only have an hour and a half to 2 hours for this podcast. There is a lot of lore in Mortal Kombat
Yes, I don't want to make this the Mortal Kombat Mortal Kombat show
podcast. Yeah, Mortal Kombat show. Yeah,
we've already made this the Netflix show earlier.
I know.
So you can if you want to see the story, you can go on. You can watch the 30-minute. I think it was like less than 30 minutes the actual show. So you can watch it all.
Mm-hmm.
So they have some new fighting moves, right? That's the whole every fighting game. You want to know how they tweak the moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have like a meter that appears in the bottom right and left hand corners where you have the horizontal one that you have the horizontal portion that's reserved for offensive moves and the vertical portion that's reserved for defensive moves.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing they have is that health meter if your health meter drops below 30%, you get access to the fatal blow, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like that. It's sort of a nasty, crazy combo that's unleashed by pressing 2 shoulder buttons at once, and it can only be used once per game, not per round.
Right, sure. So if you're doing like a best of 3 or whatever, like you get one shot to use it, and that's it, right?
Yes, that's only when your health drops below 30%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think we've kind of seen this thing in like other games.
So you have to strategically,
Sure.
hold on to that.
Sure.
If you,
So you get access to a special move if you're kind of behind a little bit. I'm sure it's going to be easy to spot, and it's going to be easy to block and whatnot. So you got to really kind of time it right, and like when to use it. Your opponent whiffs, tap the 2 shoulder buttons maybe, and then boom, hit him with the fatal blow, which I'm assuming is going to give you a KO, right?
No, but it can get you back into the fight.
Oh, all right.
It's if your meter is low, this gives you something to get back into the fight. If that person's meter is also low, you can probably get the KO, right? But if this person is near perfect and you're at like 25% life, this can get you back into the fight.
Okay, kind of even things out a little bit. Well, I have to say I'm excited. Like given all this new media blitz of stuff that came out, because the game's coming out in a couple months, right? April 23rd, I think.
We should get I think we're getting a beta at some point in March.
Right. So I'm assuming you have to buy it and you get access to the beta, or is it just kind of like, I see.
If you pre-order it, you have access to the beta.
So you know what we're gonna be doing? Pre-ordering this puppy.
We're gonna pre. Are you gonna buy this? You buying this?
Of course, man. I love Mortal Kombat.
Okay. All right. We're gonna get this into the division.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. All right. We'll play some online matches.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Mortal Kombat 11 I will be pre-ordering this from GameStop. I will be. I said it. I don't care. You know why? You know why? Because I don't get 20% off anymore from from Amazon. So
From
Amazon,
anywhere. Best Buy's closing its doors in the thing. Amazon closed its doors in the pre-order. Like,
So-
must go where the getting's good.
so they lost my business. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I if I really wanted the game, I would pre-order it, and Amazon get 20% off. They lost my business when it comes to games. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. I rather get the points. I rather get my GameStop points because I'm an elite member and I can get buy two get two free, right? Use games because I'm a collector.
Yeah.
Hopefully GameStop is still around for me to buy Mortal Kombat 11
Mhm.
because according to Wall Street Journal, I think this comes from, there's a buyout for GameStop expected to be finalized at the end of end of next month.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are two companies vying for GameStop right now. Sycamore Partners and Apollo Global Management. Now,
Those companies.
yeah, companies we know in the gaming world. Yes.
Yeah, right.
They must see a value in GameStop, and I've said
Sure.
many times, and we even had this as a convo of the week.
Way back when, yeah.
Shows again how we would, if we own GameStop, what would we do to change it to make it more or less a nerd clearance rack, right? Because there's a lot of nerdy knickknacks that
It's just all accessories, man. That was like their big push. Let's go ahead and partner up with ThinkGeek. Let's go ahead and get a bunch of like nerdy accessories in here.
which I like. No, I liked. I think they overdid it. They
did. I mean, they banked on that really hard, and then they ended up. And that's why you see like a clearance rack at every damn GameStop you go to, and it's like we have all the stuff that didn't sell.
I would make GameStop more of like a Starbucks for games,
Mm-hmm.
where you can come and lounge. It's more of a
Right.
lounge area style place, cafe. Not liquor, but maybe coffee, tea, energy drinks. Because for some
Right.
reason, energy drinks are synonymous with video games.
Right, and then it would be a place to play and buy games, right?
Like an arcade,
Either-
right? Like you have think of an old school arcade meets Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Yeah,
play,
yeah. I mean, I think you could.
lounge.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy used games.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy.
It would be almost a 180 for the company, where they're now just trying to like nickel and dime you for everything and this and that. It's a more relaxed experience. You come, you hang out,
Nickel and dime you for coffee.
nickel and dime for coffee. Sure,
Maybe,
But I mean, there's almost no reason to go into a GameStop anymore, right? You can get everything on Amazon shipped to your house like that day in some cases. Prices are comparable. Or you can just go on whatever store. You can go on Steam. You can go on the PlayStation Network. You can go on Xbox Live, and you can just download the game, right? And there it is. You have it in like an hour.
That's true. All right.
Well,
listen, GameStop lost a lot of money, like almost $500 million.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it seems they sort of been doing well lately, right?
Mhm.
Like the company had experienced growth in the third quarter, really due to Red Dead Redemption 2 or Marvel Spider-Man.
They had some heavy hitters that came out, and sure, that's definitely going to boost up your sales, right? You got to put something underneath the Christmas tree or the Hanukkah bush, right?
And everybody, listen, GameStop gets a lot of exclusive stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Calamari Damasse reroll. I didn't see that anywhere else.
Calamari you are on a roll right now, Dan Robbins.
I am.
You are on a roll. Oh boy. Oh, all right. Calamari reroll. I'm getting kind of hungry right now.
Well, I am hungry. I didn't have. I didn't.
See, that's right. You have seafood on the brain. It's all
You
good.
had an awesome burger. You just got to telling me you had this awesome.
I
burger.
did. I had a chorizo and egg burger with delicious thick cut seasoned fries.
You know what I
It
had?
was delicious.
You know what I had?
What did you have for dinner?
You know what I had? You know what I had for dinner?
Mm-hmm.
I had a coconut cake that was left over from.
Hey man,
from
we're adults.
earlier
We can do what we
today.
want. We can do what we want. It's the beauty of being an adult.
I want calamari. I want calamari.
Hey man, calamari is always a good time, right?
I want the calamari with the dipping sauce and some fries.
Of course, yeah. You gotta get the marinara. That's it.
So I mean, but they have. My point is, they've had a lot of exclusives, like right where you can. Matter of fact, there were certain amiibo you can only buy at GameStop.
That's right. They had their own game, Song of the Deep. You can only get it at GameStop. Didn't do great, but I mean, it's they have had some stuff that's kind of done fairly well for them, right? The partnerships and whatnot, the DLC that's exclusive to GameStop. I'm sure that helped them a little bit.
Again, I would make GameStop more of a lounge. Okay, coffee,
Well, yeah.
drinks. You could do the VR stuff, right? You see all these VR places where you can, play VR games.
Mm-hmm.
They have the VR experience. I would set it up more like that.
Yeah. I mean,
I think they would do a lot more. You got to bring in some other revenue other than buying physical games.
You're right. Yeah, because I mean that's basically all but gone. In the
That's
next
dying out.
right in the next console generation, when we get announcements for the PS5 and the Xbox Prime,
It's just going to be fine, and then the PS6 is going to put them out of business.
Yeah. Well.
So, all right, let's get into our lead story.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about things that are only digital.
Yep.
Let's talk about Nintendo Online.
Oh, the most full-featured, the best online service.
I listen.
It's okay. It's okay.
$20, which is a lot cheaper than PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live. I paid $20 a year to play old Nintendo games. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
And I have save features. I can, I don't mind. I don't mind doing that. I honestly don't. I think it's pretty good. Everyone else is complaining. I don't mind.
Well, I mean, what they have on offer is good. Don't get me wrong. But I want more. I want more.
Always want more. You're always greedy. Just love what's in front of you.
I want Dan. I want the Super Nintendo games.
And you may have them because now
Really?
people have data mined Nintendo Online,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like there's Super Nintendo games on the horizon.
Interesting. So I mean, it looks like in the netcode or the online files that they found some references to classic Super Nintendo games, right? Which makes sense, They had Super Nintendo in the Wii shop, in the Wii U shop, right? The eShop has had it for a while. You can download them on the 3DS if I'm not mistaken, right? So they've done it before, They just recently put out the SNES Classic, which had a ton of classic games. Fans want to be able to play Super Mario World. Dan Robinson's favorite Super Mario game.
Let's talk about every the best game of all time, the best Mario game of all time. Well, let's get into the list.
Yeah.
We got Super. I don't want to get into every game in here, but they got just. I'm just gonna shout out some of the ones that catch my eye. Super Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
That's a no-brainer. Legend
Yeah,
is
the original. Sure.
Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm. Great game.
Yoshi's Island.
Mm-hmm.
Demon's Crest.
Mm-hmm.
Not too familiar with that game.
Demon's Crest is an offshoot of Ghouls and Ghosts. The Red Arimer, I think is his name. The weird flying demon that's like red.
Gotcha.
Gets his own game, and he's like the lead character. That game is fantastic, and the graphics in that game are incredible.
What type of game is it?
It's a action adventure game.
So
you get like different power-ups and whatnot. You get magical abilities. You can level up your guy, but it's like in a whole like side-scrolling action setting. Yeah, it's really good.
Is that a game expensive?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit pricey. It's probably a little bit pricey. If you're looking.
Luki's out of stock, but they have it listed for around 140.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We got Star Fox,
Of course.
Contra 3,
Mm-hmm.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts,
Mm-hmm.
Kirby's Dream Land 3,
Mm-hmm.
Super Metroid, Pilot Wings, F-Zero, the best game ever made, Super Mario World.
According to Dan Robinson.
Oh,
Super Mario World.
Okay, best Mario game ever made, Super Mario World. Super Punch-Out. The Legend of the Mystical Ninja.
That's a good game.
I actually have that game.
Yeah,
and Star Fox 2. The game that was never released officially.
Well, until the SNES Classic. Yeah.
Now
it's an interesting cross section between that and the SNES Classic. You know, a lot of the same games.
So they're not gonna release all these games all at once. They will spread out over time, just like the NES games would. I would hope, right? Like you'll get. I would hope when they introduce the Super Nintendo games that Super Mario World, maybe Pilot Wings, and Demon's Crest or something like that, right? That'd be the first 3 games they put out.
Sure.
I don't think they're gonna put out, and this is my honest opinion. I don't think they're gonna put out SNES games until maybe like the 1-year anniversary of Nintendo Online, so maybe like September. Right, gives them something. It gives them a boost in the fall. Hey, we're offering Super Nintendo games, so now maybe you'll get like a Nintendo game or two NES games or 2 SNES games a month, right? They can mix and match. And then they have to have the SNES Joy-Con controllers.
Oh, of course. I mean, they have the NES ones,
which I have.
Yeah,
they work
to print money.
Better. They work a lot better when you're playing like The Legend of Zelda. Like they're made for those games.
Of course.
I want SNES controllers. Joy-Con.
Yeah, man.
That would be awesome.
I can almost guarantee they are on the horizon.
All right, so we know it's coming. The biggest question is when? And Nintendo 64 games.
I know. That would be next on the docket, you know.
I'm going to listen. I think I'm the only person on this hill, and I will die on this hill. I do not think there will be an N64 classic.
I mean,
I think now that they have Nintendo Online,
I don't see why. Well, they haven't announced anything yet, though. You know.
Well, they did say
so it's hard to say.
They did say they were done with the plug and plays. Well, Reggie said they were done with plug and plays. They have no. They just have no.
They have no plans to put them out. Yeah, and you may be right. I feel like that's just to throw us off the trail. You know,
they're gonna sell a wireless N64 controller. Joy-Con. Well, it can't be a Joy-Con. It's too big.
It wouldn't be able to. How would it attach? Yeah,
it would be too big. So it'd just be a wireless N64 controller, and you can play and 64 games would be on the online. I think that's how they'll do it.
Yeah.
Let's stick with Nintendo. Back in November, we talked about this. The Nintendo president of Russia. There was controversy over an old live stream from.
He went off the rails a little bit.
It was an old live stream that was like in 2017, right? Where he kind of went crazy and started being belligerent and cursing out some of his employees on the live stream. Right? He didn't look interested in the live stream, you know. Like when you see Reggie seems like he's into playing games, right? This guy was just on his phone and fidgety, and he's like, he's really being belligerent and yelling at the people on the live stream, and they look pretty like worried.
Pretty scared, worried, fearful. I mean, all those words come to mind.
And I think everybody, overwhelmingly wanted this guy fired. It's like, come on, how can he work at Nintendo, a family-friendly company, and he's like cursing at people?
Right. All I can say is Russia is a weird country. No offense to any of our Russian fans or anything like that, but Putin's horrible, and stuff like this, stories like this come out of Russia. It doesn't surprise me that much.
Well, Nintendo of Europe. Started an investigation. The investigation has concluded, and they pretty much gave him a slap on the wrist, right? I think they only they gave him like a suspension or something like that. But
right,
he is not fired. He was known for his violent tantrums and verbal abuse and bullying, but they just didn't find evidence to corroborate any of that. So I don't think people
besides the video of him screaming and
besides
yelling
the video of him screaming
on
at
camera.
On camera.
So how do you feel about this? How do you feel about the judgment that has been ruled upon this guy?
I think if Reggie was on camera yelling at people the way this guy did,
he'd be gone.
Reggie would be gone. Heartbeat.
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
I don't think Nintendo, because I don't think Nintendo of Japan would have tolerated an outburst in the live stream, let alone rumblings of behind the scenes verbal abuse, bullying, and maybe sexual harassment. Right.
No, you can't. You definitely can't have that. I don't think any company would honestly stand for that. Nintendo especially.
But we don't know the inner workings of Russia. I mean, we don't know if they said, if you want a foothold in Russia, this is the guy that needs to run the Russian wing, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, it was Nintendo of Europe who did the investigation, not Nintendo of Japan. I thought was interesting. So Japan has they may not have a say. You never know.
Maybe not, but I mean, Russia is in Asia. It would be in that region, but maybe you're right.
That was interesting. Nintendo of Europe did the investigation, but
yeah,
he's still there. They need to work on getting more resources, right? Because they don't really sell as many units because they don't have the stock, and he doesn't know what the Russian people want because he ordered more. I said earlier I was playing Let's Go Pikachu, and he ordered 90% more Let's Go Pikachus than Eevees, but apparently everybody in Russia wants to play Eevee.
Yeah, why would you 50-50 you, man? Or know your audience at least,
Yeah, so
know what they want. Oh.
Hey, listen, he's still here. Hopefully he could do a better job, and hopefully he's not verbally abusing anyone anymore.
All right.
Or maybe hopefully we won't get any more violent outbursts during live streams.
Yeah, hopefully not.
All right, let's talk about Sony. Let's transition to Sony. We already talked about how they're blowing everything out the water with the numbers.
Oh my god! It's like you're announcing a movie trailer.
90-something million units sold.
All right. We know where your fanboy allegiance lies. It's not a secret.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just reiterating. It's like a recap. Okay, it's like Netflix when you go watch a new episode. They just
you get super excited like it's Christmas morning when you hear about Sony's sales numbers.
Just saying,
great.
They're killing it right now.
All right.
Killing it.
Now, look, I'm not going to deny the numbers. The numbers don't lie. They're doing best in the sales of the big three.
90-something to 30-something. Do the math. Anyway, now you can finally do crossplay with Rocket League, so you can play against people on Xbox, Switch, and PC on Rocket League. So Rocket League and Fortnite are the two games,
right?
You can crossplay with.
I am just gonna go and say this. Took them long enough. If they drag their feet any longer or any further, it would have started to become a detriment. I think.
Tell that to the 91 million people.
91 million PS4 owners. I mean, look. I mean, it's great that they're doing so well, but if like me and you were playing The Division, right? And specifically, you got it because I said I didn't have a PS4 at the time. I was like, I like this game, The Division. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it on Xbox because that's what I have. And you said, you know what? I will also get it on Xbox, right? And you had people playing on PS4, but you're like, we'll go ahead and play together. And we played a lot of that game together. And we got it specifically for that. If The Division had crossplay, you could have easily just played it on the PlayStation if you wanted to.
No,
that would have been great.
No, I want to get on Xbox. I told you I like my shooters on my Xbox. I like my fighting games.
Well, no, I understand, but when you have the choice of do I get it for this system or this system, it's like, well, if it doesn't have crossplay, I got to go where my friends are, and if everyone's playing it on this system, it's like, well, there you go. But this is good news. Sony is helping break down barriers. Hopefully in the next generation of consoles that it'll kind of just be one unified network, right? And you can play any game on any system crossplay. That'd be great. That'd be great to see.
That's coming. That's going to be integrated into the next generation.
Right. You would figure. You would definitely figure.
Well, let's talk about a game that's only on PS4 or PS4 Pro, or maybe we don't know because we have no idea when this is going to be PS5, and that's Death Stranding. That's Death Stranding, or as I like to say, Death Stranded.
Death Stranded, yeah.
Because
not the Save the Baby Simulator.
No, not the Save the Baby Simulator. I mean, you play as Norman Reedus, who's a UPS man delivering babies in an alien apocalypse.
Yeah, that's essentially. You very well could be right. We have seen some CG cutscenes and this and that, possibly in-game footage. We still have no clue what this game is about.
We have no idea what this game is about. But Kojima showed off 2 hours of gameplay privately to the guys at Guerrilla Games because he's using. They remember when he started the studio, Guerrilla Games, who made Horizon Zero Dawn, gave him the engine. They gave him the source code to the engine so he can work on his game.
Yeah.
So they said the game looks fantastic, and that's all they can share. And I would love to. We know nothing about this game. We still know nothing, but people at Guerrilla Games at least know that this is even a game.
yeah. They have seen the gameplay footage, can confirm it is a game. Other than that, we don't know. I wish it was in that room.
Best Postal Man game ever made.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can guarantee that me and Dan will be the first in line to pick this game up, and I bet it's going to be amazing.
I want to buy the Norman Reedus figurine collector's edition when it comes out.
Oh my god, yeah, there's going to be like $1,000 version of this game, right?
Oh, don't say that! Don't jinx that, man!
It's gonna come with a private party hosted by Norman Reedus. For $1,000.
Don't put that in the universe, man. Come on.
I'm telling you. Kojima, go ahead and set that up. $1,000 tier bonus, Norman Reedus party, I will buy it.
Well, whatever. You know what? And if Norman Reedus comes to that party, we're gonna be playing PT.
Just yeah.
On my first generation PS4. It's not connected to the internet, so it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, this is the portion where we talk about games that are no longer with us. Rest in peace. They've been canceled.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So there was a sci-fi game by Ubisoft, Teased, and Watch Dogs 2 that was canceled.
Yeah, I didn't know about this because I honestly don't own any of the Watch Dogs games. I never played any of them, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I like Watch Dogs 2.
I heard that 2 was better than 1, yeah. 2
was definitely better than 1. It was codenamed Pioneer. It was like a sci-fi game, space exploration game. People actually thought that this game was Starlink, right? But apparently it wasn't Starlink. This was something totally different.
Right. That's
and when it hit a hurdle development, according to Kotaku. And Ubisoft had to replace many leads on the game, resulting in it being retooled several times.
Right.
It was supposed to be released in 2017. So that tells you that, they felt confident in, sort of teasing the game in Watch Dogs 2. But, it's just the game ran into so many hurdles it got canceled. So we would never know what this game could have been. But to me, it will always be Starlink.
It'll be Battle for
The real, the real Star Fox game of this generation. All right, and let's talk about the big game that was canceled last week. Officially, again, Star Wars: The Open World game by EA.
This is the Star Wars 1313. Yes.
Oh, stop with the Star Wars!
I'm asking a serious question.
No, every time we talk about Star Wars games, you talk about Star Wars 1313.
This is not 1313. I'm sorry. It's implanted in my head because I know it was a game that everyone was looking forward to and it got canceled. It's not 1313.
Oh my God, it's not 1313.
Okay, fine.
As a matter of fact, that game got canceled when Disney bought LucasArts.
Right. That got canned.
Yeah, matter of fact, it got canned in April 3rd of 2013. Officially. So 1313 got canceled in 13.
In 13. Oh, that's funny.
All right. So this was the Amy Hennig game made
of Amy Hennig of Uncharted fame, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
And by all accounts, everyone keeps saying that this game was Star Wars Uncharted.
Interesting.
Everyone thought everyone who's seen the game outside of EA, who's seen the gameplay or heard about it, who's seen the gameplay, thought it was fantastic. Or a fantastic early build, I should say.
Right. So it had some promise.
It had some promise.
Definitely had some promise.
But of course they canceled it because there was no way for them to make it open world and fit microtransactions into it.
Well, see, EA's always thinking about the bottom line in this case.
How awesome would it be to have a story-driven game in the Star Wars universe? I mean,
it'd be great.
Imagine if we had a Star Wars God of War.
Sure. I mean, it Knights of the Old Republic is a fantastic game. 1 and 2, those were heavily story-driven.
So EA has the Star Wars license until 2023. I think that's when the 10 years is up.
Right.
They're going to try and crank out another game within I think 2 years. They're trying to crank out another game within 2 years because Respawn already has the Jedi game it's supposed to be coming out this year, and they're going to try to crank out another game in 2020.
Right. I certainly think they can. They could at least do 2 games in that time. Possibly a third one,
Well, they're definitely gonna come out with another game in 2023, but I just don't want Disney to. I want Disney not to. I don't want them to renew the contract with EA. Like, stop. Give it to someone else who's gonna make really good games.
Sure. Give it to CD Projekt Red.
They've canceled more Star Wars games than they have put out Star Wars games.
Yeah. EA certainly made some bad moves. We know the whole Battlefield 2 thing that came up last year. That was a major debacle.
And I thought the story was really good. I was really invested. I bought it when it was cheap, obviously, and then I beat it.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about a game that's actually going to come out, not by EA, and it probably will have microtransactions. Who knows? Because it's made by a mobile studio, and that's Power Rangers. Yes, I'm talking about Power Rangers, and I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about Power Rangers. Remember we were younger, and we got Power Rangers on Genesis and Super Nintendo, and they were two completely different games.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Power Rangers on the Super Nintendo was like a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
The Genesis one was a tournament fighter. And
actually, the Power Rangers, the movie, the game, was a side-scrolling beat 'em up too. On both Genesis and SNES.
Sure, there was some Game Boy ones. I think the Game Gear had a version of that. They made a ton of Power Rangers games.
I actually never played the original until I became an adult and a collector. I never played the original Power Ranger game for SNES. I had for the Super Nintendo. I had the Genesis version, which I thought was a side scroller, and then I found out it was a fighter. And then and it was cool because once you beat the monster as a Power Ranger, you get to fight in Zords. which was the hardest part. That was the hard part. Fighting in the Zords is the hard part. So it looks like, but I say that to say this. I really like the Genesis version. Maybe I hold some nostalgia for it because I had that. That was the first Power Ranger game I ever had. And then I got Power Rangers, the movie, the game later on. I don't think I actually bought that. I think I rented that a bunch of times from Blockbuster.
Right. you have much more experience than I thought with these Power Rangers games. I think I may have emulated them once or twice, and then I'm like, it's fine.
But I think this is awesome because Spawn's Power Rangers has a new game. It's going to be a fighting game. It's called Battle for the Grid, and it's coming out It's coming out on cross platforms, cross platform play. On PC, Switch, and Xbox, but it is coming to the PS4, and I'm sure they'll do cross play a year from now.
Yeah, right. Always late to the party, Sony.
I just want to mention it looks pretty good. It will be released digitally only for $20.
Right. Well, the price is right. The fighting mechanics are pretty good. I definitely may give it a whirl.
I think they're going to have like a skin, because right now in the Power Ranger universe, I don't really keep up with it that much, but I thought it was interesting that they have like a different universe where the Green Ranger and White Ranger come together as one, and it's like he's like evil Tommy, and he's taking over all the universes, killing all the Power Rangers, and I think his name is like Lord Dracon or whatever.
Oh, interesting.
It's like evil Tommy.
And
I think they have like an evil Tommy skin in the game, which...
The lore is deep, folks.
Well, the original Power Ranger series has made a resurgence in the last couple of years with the comic.
Well, sure. They put the new movie out, the new show, yeah.
Well, the movie actually didn't tie in at all. I mean, the movie was a reboot, and right. I think the movie did, and they're making two. They're making the Power Rangers a movie too, apparently. Apparently, it didn't do as well as they thought it was going to do, right. And they put a halt on it. But apparently, they're still in works to put that out. Yeah. But yeah, the original. I'm just saying, from the original series that came out back in '93, and I swear I still remember. And this is the nerd in me. I still remember the commercial that said Mighty Morphin Power Rangers coming out next Saturday morning at 11:30, only at Fox. Like, I still remember that preview. I was like, oh my God, I got to watch this next week. I got to tell my friends. I think I was in the 6th grade at the time. No, I'm lying. I wasn't in 6th grade. I was nowhere near 6th grade. I was 11. How old are you? What grade are you in when you're 11? You were in high school. I know.
13. No, I was in 8th grade. Just about in high school. Just about in high school. It was a little bit beyond me. I was like, yeah.
Maybe I was in the 6th grade. I was in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But I actually want to try this out because I love the Genesis fighting game, Power Ranger fighting game.
I hear they're actually pretty competent for what they are.
It's really good. It's really tough when you get to the Zord battles, and I want to get back. I actually want to. I have it. I still have my old. I still have my old one. I want to dust it off and give it a run through. So I actually may pick this up.
Yeah.
And lastly, I like to always end with something weird, different, story that comes out of left field. This, I actually didn't see this. I missed this story back in June, at least when the article was released in June. Came from Business Insider that playing Nintendo as a kid makes you smarter and more socially aware, researchers say.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting study.
There was a study done in 2013, several studies. Well, they're really referencing a specific study from 2013, but several studies have shown that video games have a positive effect, not only on our brains, and contrary to popular belief, on our behavior towards others. Now, I'm not going to get into the medical mumbo jumbo about how you play. They had adults play games. They had a bunch of adults play a Super Mario game, Super Mario 64, 30 minutes a day. And then they tested their brains compared to people who didn't play games. And there was more activity or whatnot. I'm not going to get into the medical mumbo jumbo. Just know, Dave, that if you played Nintendo when you were a kid, we're smarter and we're more sociable, and we're more successful than those Sega kids.
Well, there you go. Can you? Yeah. Nintendo Sega kids. Nice. Can you like tell that to my parents like 30 years ago so they could stop yelling at me to stop playing Castlevania? That's what I want to. That's that's what I want.
You can tell my mom.
Yeah, right.
She still thinks I'm crazy for playing games.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I've always thought they've had some sort of benefit, and we've kind of certainly seen that throughout time. This article kind of lends some credence to that. The thing that Penny Arcade does with their Child's Play charity, right, where they give games to kids who have been like hospitalized, who have cancer or terminal illnesses and whatnot, and just kind of something to kind of get them through, spark joy, and kind of give them a little something to. I mean, just give a little something to get excited and be happy about. Kids who don't have it, or are kind of less fortunate and whatnot. We've seen a lot of benefits to that. So all good things. Games in moderation, right?
No, just play Nintendo games. That just means as soon as I have kids, I gotta make sure they're up on their Nintendo games.
Well, how is the Nintendo games any different? I think that was just what they were using as the the test bed, right?
If you break down games to its core, it's problem solving.
Right.
It's all problem solving. It's
somewhat, yeah.
You have to figure out the algorithm.
Well, I mean, it's that, and then it's also reflexes and whatnot, right? Because some games are just like pattern recognition and whatnot. You got to move around here and do this and do that, and have the quick reflexes, right? So it's it's a bit of both.
It's all about using the brain. It's activity for the brain to stimulate the brain to think. So, I would say if you're a gamer, you're a thinker. And of course come on. Of course you're going to be social, right? Like Twitch is big right now. You know why? Because everyone is watching everybody else play games.
Everything is all connected, right?
Everything is all connected.
All the games are online. They have a voice chat or some sort of local party mode,
Somebody at work asked me, what's the Twitch? Wait, so you watch people play games? And I said, yeah.
A lot of people that don't get it.
I said, hey, have you ever watched, because this person was an Atari gamer. It was older than me. So I said, have you ever sat back and watched someone play Atari? Right? And he's like, yeah, I watch my brother play all the time because we only had one joystick. I said, it's the same thing, except for I'm not on the couch with you. I'm watching you through my computer screen.
Yeah, right. There's value in that. Some people just don't get it. Some people just don't get it. So
just don't get it, Dave. They just don't get it. But you know what? Sega kids suck. We're smarter than you. Nintendo baby for life.
Wow. Dan is throwing a ton of shade right now. I just have to say.
Putting it out there.
But all right, that is episode 148, folks. That is in the books. We want to thank you guys for being the good fans that you are and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know you do, you can do so on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.